So first, it'd be great if we could just go down the line and left to right here. What's your name and what is your part in the band?
Okay, my name is Jason Stout. I play guitar for the Transducers, and I also do a bit of vocals too.
I'm Lisa Retta, and I'm the band drummer, and a little bit of vocals here and there sometimes.
You're a lyricist. Yes.
Lyricist.
And I'm Taylor Safina. I do keyboards and vocals.
And I'm Sam Salerno, and I play bass and do vocals as well.
Awesome. So to start, I mean, any one of you guys can answer this, but how did you guys start out as a band, and how'd you meet?
Taylor.
All right, I'll go. So we, Sam and I met in musical theater, actually, and so we met in 2016.
I think so. Yeah.
And then played a bunch of shows together in the theater, mostly at Paper Wing Theater. We played around. We've done things at Paraphrase Productions. We're doing a show at York School, Alice by Heart. So we did a lot of shows together, and then we're like, hey, maybe we should do something other than theater together. And then we just started kind of bouncing things around, playing just covers and stuff. We brought a few friends in with us, and then over the years added Jason, added Lisa. We've been together now 6 years?
Almost.
6 years, like, as a fully fledged gigging band. So it's pretty cool. But there's been so many iterations of us. Like, we started just as covers, right? And just doing, like, these little things here and there. And now we're really focused on originals.
You guys are also working on an EP right now, correct?
Yes, that is correct. A 5-song EP.
Awesome. So in working on that, what have been some of the challenges and some of the fun, surprising things that have come out of working on sort of a coordinated set of content?
I'd probably say the greatest challenge, and it wasn't much of a challenge, it was just the commute.
Mm-hmm.
We had to go up to San Jose to work with the producer that we wanted to work with, Terry Carlton from Bones and Knives. I hope we have some information over there. Is there more things I need to say about Bones and Knives? BonesandKnives.com.
How amazing.
Yeah, how amazing.
BonesandKnives.com.
Yeah, there it is. Terry's amazing. Just a friend of Lisa's for a very long time, and she said we need to work with them, and I couldn't have agreed more after just a few minutes in the studio with him. And so he made it incredibly positive experience for us, and really the hardest thing was just to drive there. I'd have to say that was probably the hardest part out of all of it.
And I'd also say just that Terry was able to take us in a lot of different directions with the songs. So songs that we brought to him just transformed under his gentle guidance, and that's been the fun part of it, just that creative process of watching the songs blossom in ways that we hadn't anticipated. So,
But we did kind of go with a theme.
Yes, we did. We did. Our theme, we haven't said it yet, but I'll say it now.
We're doing a lot of
on
announcements.
air.
Oh, wow.
Exciting.
Our theme is travelers. So we found a common thread of all of our songs having some element of travel within them. So that was kind of a light bulb moment with us, and kind of helped inform the rest of the album art and everything like that. So that was a really cool moment.
we didn't sit down and go, okay, what's our theme? And we'll go from there. It just sort of, as each song was coming into existence, we were shaking our heads going, wow, that's a lot like this other song, and that's a lot like that other song. And it's just the notion of movement and going from one place to another for a variety of reasons. So it just sort of really flowered out of the process of making the songs. I think I was telling Taylor at one studio session, we started talking about the common threads in the songs, and that's kind of what came out of it.
We have songs that were written all the way back, like one of my tunes that's on the album is I wrote it in 2013, and then the most recent one was written just like a couple weeks before we went into the studio. Yes, they were written years ago, but there's new aspects to all of them, which is very interesting.
They've been transducified.
Exactly. Exactly.
Yeah, that's really interesting how a lot of those projects are started a long time ago. How was it to come back to projects that were written upwards of a decade ago, and sort of coming back to those projects? What went into transducifying them to put onto the EP?
There you go.
Yeah,
He knows
that's
their
a
lingo
great-
already. That's great. That's good.
I would say for Ray, the song that I wrote, that I think it was waiting for these guys. I think that's what the story of that song was, and it didn't become fully realized until they put their hands on it. And so I think sometimes your art takes time, and it needs fresh eyes and fresh notes, and I think that's what happened. And I would say that probably happened for all of the songs, just having a new perspective.
But following the release of this EP, could you see yourself returning to these projects again to sort of keep bringing your new experiences to them? Do you see them as finished products?
Absolutely. I think each and every one of these songs can have a mashup with an ABBA tune.
You think he's kidding?
I
Kidding.
see it.
I've got it all in the head, man. It's like at least 3 or 4 different ABBA tunes per song, and I'm excited to revisit each and every song on this EP with that in mind.
It's never done.
I think it might be time to listen to the song.
Sure.
Do it.
Yes.
Yeah.
Wake up behind the wheel. Wake up, here's the deal.
All right. So, first thoughts. I'm a very big fan. Totally. I like the sound. Yeah,
You like it?
I do. I really do. I play bass myself, so I'm a
You do?
Heck yeah.
big
Wow.
yeah. Seriously, big fan though.
No, we had an absolute blast recreating that song. So I mean, I feel as though that we kind of also brought that in as part of incorporating Lisa into the fold, because we wanted her to be represented as well. And I felt the lyrics, and I asked if that's okay, and then that was that. Then I got into my classical vocalist stance in the booth.
I have the picture. I'll
And
share it on
there's
our page.
It looks like I'm supposed to be singing about Jean Valjean, you know, how he's
One day
oppressing.
more.
Yeah, how he's oppressing the. Anyway, yeah.
Well, and for me specifically, it was a challenge just because there wasn't any keys on this. I mean, there was. Terry had recorded maybe some sort of like the mellotone thing he was using. Mellotron, thank you. And so for me, I kind of more or less, you know, wrote a new part for this just for myself for the keys. So that was a challenge, trying to work within the, you know, the form of the song, what serving the song, but still going, okay, what am I bringing to this? So I think what we ended up with was really cool. I ended up playing xylophone on some of the sections there, and so that was a cool challenge. And yeah, just wanting to honor something that is already out in the world and that already existed was a different challenge that I hadn't really worked with before. So we approached it with a little more, you know, delicateness and okay, so why are we recording it again? What, you know, not just for our own glory and just, you know, we're going to record it exactly the same way. What do we have to say while still keeping the, you know, the integrity of the song? What do we have to say as a band? And so there were some decisions to be made in that way, and hopefully it shows in our work.
Yeah, for me, it was the chance to kind of let loose a little bit. It's got that feel where, you know, I could just hear Geddy Lee playing a song like this, and I was like, oh yeah, I like this. So, and what Jason said too, that it kind of fits kind of the modern sound, and we wanted to have something like that as well. And it's the frantic nature of the song, the angst in it. It's just it was so much fun to do. And it's just such a powerful driving song. So it's a lot of fun to play
Literally
live.
driving.
Yeah, yeah, right.
I literally wrote it when I was driving.
Listening back to that song now that it's in a finalized state, how do you feel listening to your own parts and to the song as a whole?
Very proud.
I think it turned out great. Every time I hear it, I mean, everybody's not used to hearing their own voice when it's being pushed back at them with a speaker. However, over the course of some few decades, I've kind of learned to accept it, appreciate it, and hearing what we've done on there and how I'm on there as the front man. It's been rewarding to hear it every time and not just go, oh yeah, that's a 4-minute and 30 some odd second song that we made. It's more or less thinking about everything that we did that led up to that point of the recording that helps me reminisce about that song. So it's not just like, hey man, listen to that song, the lyrics are cool. It's about what our process was that led up to all of that, and so that kind of comes back every time I hear it, which is cool.
Just a note: the listening to your own voice and not being annoyed by it, that is impressive. That is something that,
Right?
yeah,
That it took decades. I'm not kidding. It's
Yeah.
you know,
Still, I'm
It's-
still
it-
not over.
the 40 plus years. I'm telling you, it takes a while.
I don't think we realized going into this like how much we would have to listen over and over to the same, you know, not just the
Yeah.
same song, but okay, let's listen to these 4 measures here. Okay, let's do it again. Okay, do it again. Okay, I'm just gonna adjust this one thing. Okay, now we're gonna listen again. Okay, now we're gonna start from the beginning, but we're gonna stop here, and you know, over and over and over. You don't realize like piece by piece, you have to go through, and I think we probably logged like 200 listens on each one of these songs when all is said and done, because it's just, attention to detail. Yeah.
To round things out, for people who are interested in pursuing music, playing gigs, releasing EPs themselves, what kind of advice would you give to people who are trying to pursue their passions in music?
You have to for the best results, I think it's all about having the right attitude and really trusting people around you. So listening to the people around you and saying, yeah, okay. Oh, you want to do this song? Oh, you want to sing it? Oh, okay. And being open to the possibilities beyond what might be in your own mind, and even what you think of your own ability. I've met so many musicians. I've worked with so many vocalists and other players that are so good, but they get, vocalists get in front of the mic and then won't sing because of what you guys were just talking about. And I think you have to put it out there. You have to be vulnerable, and you have to be okay. There's going to be times where it's not going to work so well, but you can't I don't think many people can get to the point of feeling great about it without going through that process. So the process is, in my opinion, and for me, has been super important, really, really important.
I would add on to that, be patient. If we were doing this for, fame and glory, we would have quit years ago, because like I said, we've been, like Sam and I have been at this for 6+ years now. And yeah, we're just starting to get into, originals and stuff, but it's been a long process just even getting our name out there so people will, hire us for things. It's just, there's lots of roadblocks in the way, which are great, and they've made us the band that we are now. But there's a lot of times where I was like, okay, is this right? And heck yeah, it is right. But sometimes you just go, okay, I got to reassess for a second, because it's hard. It's really hard, and you really have to be fully, and you have to be doing it for the right reasons. So yeah.
Pass. No, I'm kidding.
He's still thinking about
no,
ABBA.
I was actually.
You have to have a sense of humor.
I was going to say something on in my own words, and I felt that I'd probably just get teary-eyed and everything. So instead, I'm just going to quote somebody else, because they said it better, that it's a long way to the top if you want to rock and roll. And AC/DC couldn't have said it better. It is a steep slope to climb, not just with practice, but being able to do that kind of thing in front of people, and then being able to do that kind of thing in front of people with other people playing along with you. And then there's so many extra factors to doing things like what we're talking about today. Well, what about original music? What about cover music? What about playing for another band and going on tour? What about, it doesn't even have to be a rock and roll instrument. What about a violin and sitting in it with an orchestra and doing that and being part of that, musicians union, and there's just a huge, wide open opportunity for music, but it ain't easy. It's probably easier to take on a trade school and do just fine in life and have, a decent amount of money to pay the bills, to pay the rent, make sure the car's in order, make sure the family's fed. And music doesn't allow that sometimes, and it takes a lot of hard work to get it to do that. And I've gone back and forth with that throughout my whole life, So it is exactly that. It is just as hard of a profession as it is anything else, if not more, because there's a lot of luck that is involved, and not a lot of jobs have luck involved unless you play sports. But then again, that's kind of the exact same amount of proficiency that you need. I would compare that to that. So, but yeah, it's a lot of work, high risk, high reward, and if you're willing to do it, I mean, why not? So, and
It's a long way to the top. Rock and roll. If you want to rock and roll.
Absolutely. All right. to close, any plugs you guys want to do? You want to website one more time?
Well, yeah. Please check our website, thetransducersband.com. We're also on Instagram and Facebook. If you just search the Transducers Band, we're there. We are always out there playing, and all our shows are on our website and our social media. We have a bunch of stuff coming up, but a couple things that we are really excited about are coming up in the summer. We are playing Night Market, which is, if you haven't been there, you got to check it out. It's every Friday night from 5 to 9. They do a local vendors market called Night Market in Sand City.
First Friday
in
of
Sand
the
City.
month,
Yeah, it's the
Isn't
first
that what I
Friday.
said? The
No,
first
you
Friday.
said every Friday.
Sorry, the first Friday.
Friday of
Excuse
every
me.
month.
The first Friday of every month. So we're going to be playing that in July 7th. And then we have a summer reading finale event for the Carmel Public Library that we're excited about. That's going to be in Devendorf Park. That's going to be the last week in July. We don't have the exact date yet, but again, check our website. And then we're not really supposed to announce this last one. So all I'll say is we're going to play a certain Sand City Summer Festival in August. So those of you that know what that is, we're very excited. And hopefully we'll be able to announce it fully soon. But please check our website. We're always adding new shows. We've got something pretty much every weekend, more or less. So we're excited about getting out there and playing.
Awesome. All right, time for my plugs. You
Yeah.
can catch my show Fridays 5 to 6 p.m. KSPB Pebble Beach 91.9, where I will be playing some more transducers. Absolutely.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you guys so much for coming on. It's been a pleasure,
Thank you so much for having us.
and hope you guys enjoyed.
Thanks, Quinn.
Thank you. That was so fun.